Eager as ever to prove he's the best in the world, Joaquin Buckley also respects the UFC's business ventures, even if it means he has to wait. Ahead of UFC on ESPN 69, which he headlines Saturday vs. Kamaru Usman, Buckley 21-6 MMA, 11-4 UFC acknowledged that while his resume might be title shot worthy, that he might need an additional win due to an impending superfight between champion Della Maddalena and Islam Makhachev. In my personal opinion, this win is going to catapult me to be in a position of that #1 contender spot, Buckley told MMA Junkie and other reporters at a pre-fight news conference Wednesday. Obviously, this is a business. Islam has done a lot in the lightweight division. He has a massive name. It only makes sense for the UFC to give him that opportunity to fight for the belt. With all that being said, I'm going to let my performance speak for itself because a lot of things happen within this fight business that yet again we cannot predict. With that being said, if an additional fight offer does happen, Buck going to be ready for this opportunity when it comes calling. If it does align that Buckley is next for the winner of Della Maddalena, 18-2 MMA, 2-0 UFC, and Makhachev 27-1 MMA, 16-1 UFC, he thinks only one of those options would actually come to fruition. I truly believe if Islam was able to win that 170 title, he done everything he needed to do, Buckley said. What, we going to stick around and potentially lose that winning streak? I don't think so. I think he's really trying to cement his name. It's really just kind of a legacy pass. Then once he wins that welterweight belt, my man is going to retire at the end of the day. That's my opinion. I would love it, but I don't think Islam would. I truly believe if Islam was able to win that 170 title, he done everything he needed to do. What, we going to stick around and potentially lose that winning streak? I don't think so. I think he's really trying to cement his name. It's really just kind of a legacy pass. Then once he wins that welterweight belt, my man is going to retire at the end of the day. That's my opinion. Usman 20-4 MMA, 15-3 UFC is Buckley's most high-profile test to date. It comes following a red-hot 2024 for Buckley, during which he defeated Vicente Luque, Nursultan Ruzibov, Stephen Thompson and Colby Covington. Following the Covington win, Buckley called for Usman, and he's pleased the UFC liked his idea. Yes sir, I'm talking about 2024 was a massive year for me, especially with getting all the fights I've been asking for, right? Buckley said, getting opportunities, especially with Vicente Luque, with Wonderboy, Stephen Thompson, even with Kamaru Usman, me, shouting his name out. Now they blessing us now with this fight. With this opportunity, man, that I'm getting. I just think this is a perfect moment for myself to show up and show out. Really, the reason why these callouts have been successful is the fans. Every time I call out these fighters, the fans want to see it. The UFC has actually been listening to the fans and making sure these fights happen. Usman, 38, has not competed in nearly 2 years. He's on a 3-fight skid that began when he was knocked out by Leon Edwards. While it's uncertain where Usman is in his career, Buckley said he thinks the former champion hasn't regressed much. To be honest with you, I don't think there's no difference from the Kamaru of old and the Kamaru of now, Buckley said. I think it's the same fighter, which I believe is still dangerous and a person who can still give a lot of guys a lot of problems at the welterweight division. You realize losing to a person like Leon, who obviously took his belt and who obviously was a champion at the moment. Then also, Usman being able to go out on 10 days' notice and fight Khamzat, you've got to respect that. Even with him taking those L's, I really feel like it wasn't much of a loss for him, as it was a setback. With that being said, he's been able to fine-tune his technique, as he says, and be able to work on whatever injuries he's got. So I'm just expecting the best version of himself when he steps out there.